You were always the special one. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you were always the special one. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say I'm one of a kind. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say I'm one of a kind. Now, when I say you are the special one, I'm not talking about special ed. Okay, I'm not talking about, I don't want to say slow, but I'm not talking about less intelligible, right? Or, mentally challenged. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that, right? What I mean by being special is you were always the standout man or woman in the room, right? And by the way, I want to make sure I clear this up, right? I have special ed cousins, special ed people in my family, and it's nothing funny about that. I want to make that clear. It's not like I'm trying to make a joke, but for some people they may think that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, y'all, just wanted to clear that up. There's nothing about that is jokingly, right? I know some people may have kids like that, family members, stuff like that. So just want to clear that up once again, y'all. That's not what I'm saying, okay? However, y'all, when I say that you are special, I am saying that you are the individual who always stood out with your energy, with your personality, maybe with your smile, with who you are as an individual naturally. You don't have to look at a picture to act this way. You don't have to look at a video to reenact the scene. You don't have to study a music video. You don't have to be a video vixen for my ladies. You don't have to do anything other than yourself, but be yourself. Okay? Now, if you were always the special one, whether it came from school, whether it came from, being within the family, around your friends, all right, even at the job, right, you'll notice that you are special and more different than everybody else. If this happened to be you, y'all, drop in the comments and let me know. And, share a story in the comment section when you realize that you were special, all right? But with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get directly into this video. This right here is going to be another powerful and divine video, all right? You were always the special one. With that being said, family, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. And yes, y'all, second video of today. And y'all can probably guess it. Your boy did not go to jiu-jitsu. Oh, man. But I will be going there tomorrow, y'all. A lot of things came up. Had to cook some chicken and rice. Had to do all type of things, y'all. But here we are. We still stand. We still rise. We getting back to this work. So number one, y'all, it's going to be this right here. Comprehension skills, all right? It's going to seem very elementary when I say this. But again, comprehension skills. Y'all, your ears is different from the regular person ears. Yep. The way you see is different from how a regular person would see. And the way you understand is different from how the regular person will understand. So I'll just let y'all know this secret, y'all. Well, it's not a secret for those who've been following me and listening to me, but y'all, when I wrote my first song, I was like 11 years old, all right? And there was this guy who stayed across the street from me. His name was Quincy. Yep, Quincy. Quincy was a cool dude. I think he's doing decent in life right now. He's a salesman. He always had that type of spirit, but one day he seen me writing a song, and he seen that I was really, really serious. And so he came over, and he said, man, if you really want to get good, you need to look up. He said, do you know Tupac? I said, yeah, I know Tupac. He said, do you know Biggie? I said, yeah, I know Biggie. He said, okay, well, do you know Jay-Z and Big L? I said, well, I don't know Big L. And so he put me on Big L, and he said, if you really want to get good, you need to get you a thesaurus. He said, you know what? I'm going to get you a thesaurus. So he brought me over a thesaurus from his house. I never forget. He brought me over a thesaurus. He said, you want to study words. Study words. That's what you want to do. And from that day on, I took his advice and I got better. I studied Tupac, Biggie, Big L. I studied Jay-Z. I studied all the greats. And I actually studied my thesaurus, right? I say all that to say this right here, y'all. I knew I was special when I would use that thesaurus the dictionary and implement it into my music, implement it into my books, implement it into my poems, implement it into anything that allowed me or caused me to write, to perfect my craft. I knew I was special. Many people who get advice from people like that, they can't comprehend. They think that, oh, what you're saying about my music skills, what you're saying about my writing, you saying I ain't good? I mean, what you mean by that? You know what? I ain't even gonna listen to you, man. You fake, or you this, you that. They don't have good comprehension skills. They don't understand that somebody really sees something in them and they're trying to maximize their potential. They don't understand that somebody is really trying to get them to go to the next level. But instead, they don't comprehend, they compromise with themselves. Meaning, I'm going to cheat myself out of being better because I think that someone else is being bitter, right? And oftentimes, many people go through this. You think just because somebody told you to do better at this or up this or change this around, that they hating on you. No, you just lack comprehension skills. But when you are special, you understand from a different perspective that, oh, this person trying to add some sauce to my cup. Oh, this person trying to add some information to my arsenal. Oh, this person is just trying to, throw some more water or juice into my cup. You follow what I'm saying, y'all? This happens. If you have these type of comprehension skills, then chances are you are always the special one. Number 2, people call you deep. Yeah, people call you deep. See, when people call you deep, it's because you're always seeking a deeper understanding. All right. So with that being said, y'all, quick example. Let's just say if there's an earthquake that has happened in Haiti, I'm not throwing that on that beautiful country. I'm just saying, y'all, if it was an earthquake in the U.S., once again, I'm not throwing that on our beautiful country. I'm just saying, y'all, if it's an earthquake, you don't just look at it and say, oh, an earthquake happened. Well, what's for dinner? No, you say, oh, an earthquake happened. All right, what happened with the ozone layer, or why is it that an earthquake happened? When was the last earthquake in the past decade, right? You're looking for you're looking to connect the dots, if you will. You're not just settling with, oh, it was an earthquake. No, you want to know how and why, where, and I believe that's a trait that a lot of special people have. Special people are always being called deep. You deep for no reason, or you always want to look into something. You always want to think about something in a different perspective. And it's like, so if you're deep, you're just deep. All right. But you're deep for a reason. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I'm deep for a reason. Okay. It may be a person who broke up, right? It was a couple who broke up, whether they were celebrity couples or somebody you knew. It's not to say you're trying to get in their business, but you don't just run with the narrative, right? They may say, oh, the man was wrong. Most people gonna run with that narrative that the man was wrong. Somebody may say the woman was wrong. Most people are gonna run with the narrative that the woman was wrong. When in actuality, a person like yourself, a person who think deep, you're trying to figure out what is the truth. It's 3 sides to every story. Their side, right? Or his side, her side, and God's side. Yeah, that's 3 people. His side, her side, God's side. All right? 3 sides to every story. God's side is the truth. What I'm simply saying, y'all, is that anything that happens, you're thinking deeper than surface level. Most people are they're very surface level type people. They only look at what's being shown. I ain't trying to be a conspiracy, theorist, but I don't believe everything that's on the news. You think they really gonna tell you what's going on out here in the world? Yeah, they gonna tell you the things that are designed to make you scared or fearful of life, but they're not gonna tell you every single thing to keep you on point. Whenever stocks are doing terrible, that's probably the time where you should buy. Whenever they're saying that it's doing amazing, it's probably the time when you need to sell, right? And this is coming from people like, Wall Street Trapper and those who are experts or considered to be experts in the, stock field. But stocks are on the news, crimes are on the news, all these different things. But the point is, y'all, is that it's very surface level stuff. Nobody goes deep into research. Nobody uses their mind, right? Malcolm X once said in a quote, I believe he said that he who controls the media controls the minds, right? Whoever controls the media controls the minds of the people. And that's a very powerful, tool to have, the minds of the people, especially if you're able to control the media. Going all the way back to when Tupac and Biggie was beefing, they were controlling the media. Who was they? They as in media outlets, media companies, the industries, controlling the media, making the beef bigger than what it was. And once again, y'all, most people are surface level. They don't go deep into anything. That's what makes you special. Number 3, y'all, you have a unique energy. You have a unique energy. See, these 4 things give you a unique energy, right? When people are naturally drawn to you effortlessly, like you don't have to do nothing extra, you just be yourself. I mean, a lot of times you can be nonchalant. People still gravitate towards you. If that's you, you have a unique energy. Next thing that makes you have unique energy, y'all, is you are a standout type of guy or gal, right? You are a standout type of guy or gal. Point blank period. When you walk into a room or when you walk into a building, you naturally stand out. I don't know if it's your nose, if it's your hair, if it's your smile, if it's the way you dress. I don't know what it is about you. You know these things. However, y'all, that makes you a standout type of guy or gal. All right. You're one of a kind. One of a kind personality, one of a kind energy, one of a kind, the way you talk, right? A lot of people say that I talk different. Some people say I talk weird, right? A lot of people say I talk like I'm from Florida. Some people say I talk like I'm from New York. I don't know what I talk like. I think I'm still country, if you ask me, right? But the point is, y'all, is that I'm a one of a kind. I'm not the same to everybody. Somebody thinks that I stand out in some way. One of a kind. That's you, right? And the next thing, y'all, is that you have your own swag, all right? You got your own swag. Now, y'all know me. By the time my hair start growing back, y'all know I be wearing the hat to the back or I wear my hat to the front, right? I love hats, y'all know that, but I'm trying not to go bald. That's why I'm trying to, stay away from the hats, keep my hair cut a little bit more. But the point is, y'all, I still got my own swag. Right, y'all know Rena gonna have a turtleneck. Y'all know I'm gonna wear this chain. Y'all know I like to wear a lot of long sleeve stuff or joggers and stuff like that. Y'all know I got my own swag. I love hats. That's my swag. I got my own way of talking. Got my own way of moving. Y'all know me. I got my own way of doing content. I got my own swag. That's the same thing with yourself. You have your own swag. Therefore, it creates a unique energy. Somebody drop in the comments and say, ain't nobody like me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, ain't nobody like me. That's important, right? Now, a great example of this, y'all, would be, think about Eminem. If anybody is portraying to be Eminem, we're going to automatically say, you trying to be like Eminem, right? We're going to automatically say, that sound like Eminem. We're going to automatically compare him or her to Eminem if they have any of those characteristics. Swag, trying to be one of a kind like them. If they stand out like Eminem, or if they are having people to naturally, be drawn to them in a way of how Eminem would do it, we'll say, you trying to be like Eminem, right? Dapper Dan. I don't know if too many younger people know about Dapper Dan, but Dapper Dan is a guy who's big on fashion, right? Old school cat. But he be fresh. He got the plaid suits. I mean, he just got his own type of swag, but unique energy. If a person is dressing, talking, acting like Dapper Dan, we're going to know that, nah, bro, that ain't you, bro. That's Dapper Dan right there. You see what I'm saying? We already know who Dapper Dan is. Red Fox, same thing. Yeah, he got his own charisma. He got his own swag, right? RP to the great Red Fox. But he got his own swag. He got his own charisma. He got his own way of talking, his own way of speaking. He has his own way of doing comedy. Yeah, Red Fox is Red Fox. We're not going to say that he's being like someone else. But if someone else act like Red Fox, we're going to say, bro, you acting like Red Fox. You follow what I'm saying, y'all? This is what happens when you have a unique energy. Point blank period. Number 4, y'all. You are a seer, okay? You are a seer. This makes you very special. You know, y'all, when it comes to your friends, you can see who's a real friend and who's not. You can almost see that a person will betray you before they do. You already know what their intentions are. You still a human being. So a lot of times the reason why you go through what you go through is because you didn't know for sure, but you seen it. After it happens, you like, dang, I already had seen it. I already kind of knew it, but that's what makes us human, right? None of us are psychic. None of us are, gods. I'm talking about in terms of being a God who can resurrect people, or a God who can, do godly things, right? Obviously, we are little gods, meaning we are made in his image, in his likeness, but ain't none of us God, right? I don't care what nobody's saying. A lot of people like to say, hey, what's up, God? You a God. Okay, cool. If you want to say that I'm made in his image and I'm made within the likeness, okay, fine, right? I look like God, okay, fine. But I'm never going to sit here and say I am God. That's just my belief, right? Whoever want to argue with me, y'all can argue in the comments, but I'm not going back and forth with you. But anyway, the point that I'm saying, y'all, is that you have this God-like ability to see, all right? To be able to see, to be able to understand, comprehend. Friends, relationships, the same thing. You know who is here for you and who's not. You can kind of see what their intentions are. You're still human, so you don't know quite, but you've seen it though, right? It gets to the point, y'all, to where you can see other people's destinies. You can see, like, if a person is going to, do well in life, you can see that. You can see when a person is not going to do well in life. You can see the other people are friends. Like, let's just say you have a friend that has another friend. You can tell that person, like, hey, I don't know if they really for you, because you already seen it. You are a seer. That is what makes you special, being able to see. This Bible says, y'all, that I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Yes, it says this right here, y'all. The wise sees the danger and conceal himself, but the inexperienced sees it and goes right along, right? The wise or the shrewd sees the danger and conceal himself, but the inexperienced, right, or the fool sees the danger and goes right along. This is who you are. You are the wise. You are a seer. You see good things and bad things. Number 5, y'all, it's going to be this right here. You were laughed at or mocked for being different, okay? You were laughed at or mocked for being different, all right? Now, I'm going to get right into it, y'all. So, back in the day, singing and rapping at the same time was like looked down upon. It was like frowned upon, right? What you doing singing and rapping? You better rap, right? You better just rap. You better spit them bars. But singing and rapping is so popular now, y'all, it's ridiculous. Even the thug rappers or the gangster rappers are melodically talented, and they're singing these songs. They're singing these thug lullabies in a way of, you would think that Beyonce is singing them. You'll be amazed what a studio can do for you. I'm telling you, these guys are sounding like they are real full-blown singers, but it's the studio doing it. However, y'all, it's the trend now. But think about people like Devin the Dude. People laughed at Drake when he first started, but it became so popular and we was in a different time. But in the very beginning, people laughed at Drake, right? But Devin the Dude, nobody really respected it. And there was other people too who were singing and rapping, but nobody respected it. You know why? Because they were in the phase of being laughed at and mocked. But guess what? It don't make Devin the Dude any less special than Drake. Anybody who started that wave was special at the time, right? Ja Rule was doing it. Special at the time. The point of what I am making, y'all, is that you were always the special one, especially if you were being laughed at and mocked. Oh, yeah, you better believe you were special. They were laughing and mocking you because they really wanted to be you, but they didn't know how. They really wanted to do what you were doing, but they didn't know how. Make sense of what I'm saying, family? Drop in the comments and let me know. But y'all, we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. I hope y'all are having a great night. Hope y'all end this night off, with great vibes and great energy. And of course, y'all, we're going to do this recap and then we'll get up out of here. So number one, y'all, your comprehension skills. You can hear what a person tell you and don't take it to the extreme. You take from it, you filter it out, what you need and what you don't need, and you capitalize. Number two, people call you deep. But in actuality, you're just looking for a deeper understanding. You're not surface level. Number three, you have unique energy. Remember, y'all, these 4 things give you unique energy. Number one, people naturally are drawn to you effortlessly, meaning you don't have to try. Number two, you are a standout type of guy or gal. Number three, you're one of a kind. And number 4, you got your own swag, all right? Number 4, you are a seer. You see things before they happen. Point blank, period. And number 5, y'all, you were laughed at or mocked for being different. Family, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all go over to the Rich Mentality Academy. Join the membership. Go meet your tribe. Y'all be sure to book a one-on-one session with your boy. Of course, y'all get one of those Yes Sir t-shirts. And y'all can check out any one of my books. But I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.